Good evening, everyone. It is so great to see each of you out this very evening. I, of course, am not Tanya Brown from WPDE, but I will be standing in her place until she arrives. As we look back and reflect the 25 years that the FMU African American Faculty and Staff Coalition has been in existence, we take this time to pause, celebrate, and look forward to what we hope to accomplish in our future. So we're just going to keep things moving this evening when we will actually start with our very first speaker of the evening, and that will be Yvonne Davis. Yvonne Davis is an FMU retiree, having worked in the James A. Rogers Library for over 30 years, but she's an advocate, supporter, and fighter for patient health care. So Yvonne actually is on the Board of Consumers, and she tonight will share with us where the coalition has been up to this point. Yvonne Davis.
Good evening, everyone. To our president and his lovely wife, Holly, and to my FMU and coalition family, and all the guests here tonight, I thank you in advance for the opportunity to share with you my story. I am a retiree of Francis Marion. I'm a community advocate person for the National Association of Community Health Centers. I'm the voice of the customer, Morehouse Medical Center, the voice of the patient, and your consumer board member for the state of South Carolina as well. I love community health centers. Francis Marion University is one of the very first educational institutions that have a community health center that's on the campus, and we're excited about it. So I'm going to do what they asked me to do. They told me not to talk, but say what I need to say and sit down. So I've got my timer here, so there's a few words that I'd like to share with you in reference to the coalition. Platinum vision, silver vision, whichever term you choose to use, a coalition for the future. What an awesome, awesome theme for tonight's celebration. 25th Annual African American Faculty and Staff Coalition Gala. I remember the very first fundraiser we had. Of course, it's now referred to as the Gala. That says a lot from which we've come, but yet so much to be done. It was in 1993, a group of faculty and staff members decided to sit down over lunch one day in a classroom on the second floor of the University Smith Center. The purpose of the meeting was to discuss developing an action plan to help assist with some of the needs of the growing population of African American students that were now attending the university. Some of the comments that we were hearing from the students were, "There is no one to talk to that looked like me. I don't have money to purchase books. I can't get a student assistant job. My loan wasn't approved. I've already exceeded my limit of loans that I'm able to get. I can't afford a meal plan. I don't have food," or just a few of the conversation topics. It was then we agreed, if not us, then who? We donated personal funds to assist however we could. We then started organizing to develop the strategies and prepare to address diverse issues and concerns that affected the group and the African American student population with the administration. Not until 1995 we were chartered and the FMU African American Faculty and Staff Coalition was developed. The struggle was still real. The coalition members agreed we had to do more to fund the scholarship we were hoping to offer the students that were economically deprived or struggling to make ends meet. Our very first fundraiser, now referred to as the Gala, was held off the university campus. Due to the expenses that we could not afford here on campus and the lack of support from the administration. It was a huge success that night and agreed that this would be an annual event. In 1999, the university hired Dr. Fred Carter, and the coalition invited him he and his lovely wife, Folly, to a small social gathering to welcome him to our campus. Almost immediately, the coalition was feeling some traction. First, he requested that we bring the annual fundraiser back on campus. Thank you, Dr. Carter. Thank you for your willingness to help us make our vision come to a fruition. Tonight, I challenge you that are here tonight, as well as the virtual viewers, to prepare your hearts with a special donation to support the various scholarships the coalition sponsors. But on a personal note, my virtual viewers are those that are here tonight, the students that were here from 1980 to 2015 that wore that chair out in my office for whatever reason it might be, I'm expecting a special donation for the Yvonne Davis Scholarship. Thank you to my FMU and Coalition family for allowing me to be a part of this great celebration. And I have a quote from a former colleague, one of the Coalition's founding members, and a dear friend of mine, Dr. Udogu, and it reads, "We are an organization designed to promote not only unity, but scholarship for all. We seek to connect with various colleagues, students, and community members to continue to serve our motto, together we can." Thank you all, stay safe, and God bless you all.
How's everyone doing? You look great. I had a live shot at 6:08 in the pouring rain, so thank goodness I made it here. Got dressed right in the FMU parking lot. Tried to do something to my hair. I don't even know how it looks. I just put some gel on it. But I love this college. I think it's one of the best colleges in the world. Not just the state, not just South Carolina, but in the world. The things that Dr. Carter and his administration are doing at this school and for our region, it's just phenomenal. I did a really good story last night about how they're expanding the medical program, and we're going to have more people, offering more people the opportunity to go into nursing and other programs. But we're going to move on. I want to thank Stephen Simpson, or Sims, for filling in for me. He looks so great back there. I told him he needs to just stay out here. We're going to have Tevin Leary, who is the Francis Marion graduate class of 2017. He now works for Hope Health, another great medical facility in our area, and he is going to come as a past scholar.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm nervous. I don't normally do these things, so I try to just stay out the way. But I would like to start off by giving honor to God to being here today, and for each and one of us to be here today and during a time like this, during this pandemic. I would like to thank my family and my friends. Dr. Carter, thank you. I also want to thank Ms. Sullivan and the entire coalition for allowing me to come here today. They also know that this was actually very important to me, so I was very honored that they asked me to be here today. I also want to congratulate the coalition for 25 years. When I seen that, I was actually kind of like I chuckled a little bit, because I was like, usually when you do these things, they're actually older than you. I'm actually turning 27 next week, so if somebody wants to donate for my birthday, that's perfectly fine since we're talking about donations. Again, it really is truly an honor to be here today to represent for the coalition and for past recipients. Again, my name is Tevin Leary. I graduated here in 2017. I graduated with a degree in health administration. I was born and raised in Queens, New York, with my mother and 2 brothers, and my father of Queens, New York, too. As a teenager, I moved here from Camden, South Carolina, and I attended FMU during 2014. During my time at FMU, I became a Joseph E. Hayward Scholarship recipient from 2014 to 2017. As a freshman who felt lost my freshman year and didn't exactly learn what bills and money were until college, there was a lot of loans pulled out. To know you became eligible for a scholarship just sounded about as good as Fried Chicken Wednesday here, so I was entirely ecstatic for that. Because I am a first-generation college student, I assumed that scholarship meant someone cares enough to invest in me and my education. Somewhere in the back of my head, I just said, oh, that's free money, so I'm so glad for that. But with the coalition, it meant more than that. It meant the world to me that I was receiving financial assistance, but I didn't realize I was actually being adopted into a family. Being a scholarship recipient, the doors open to hearing faculty and staff experiences, and most importantly, their wisdom. One of my fondest things that I enjoyed when I was with the coalition was that, and really thank you, Dr. Carter, for this too, but we always went to travel and experience places that Black history celebrated. So that was a very special thing for me. I had some of my greatest memories, and I probably laughed more than anything and seen some really cool things I thought I would never see before. It's not every day you get to meet the people that you admire. One of the greatest moments for me was to shake Dr. Hayward's hand and eat dinner with him my first year as a recipient. Now, I admit I never knew who he was, but besides the fact people spoke highly of him, and he was my donor. Now, I said I like appreciating wisdom. And I had to ask him, I just had to ask. You know, I would see his name, like I said, everybody would bring it up. So I just had to ask, and his response was very simple, but it was also very humbling. And I tried my best when I was thinking about this. I said, I hope this sounds like something what Dr. Hayward would say, and they confirmed it did. But he said, and I was going to work on my impersonation of him, but I guess that didn't work out. But he said, well, it definitely took some hard work and some perseverance, but I think I just happened to be the right guy in the right place. Now, for those who don't know, Dr. Hayward got a whole building named after him, so I wasn't fully buying it. So I was a little, thought he could have gave me a little bit more. I understood at that moment what it meant, and it actually meant the world to me as a young boy who was actually seeking manhood. You see things like that, and you kind of like, we want to be like people like that. Just a reminder, he has a building named after him, so. I am actually proud to say that I am working in my desired profession of healthcare, and I believe I'm thriving in it because of the scholarship and the coalition's help. I couldn't have done it without them, so I duly appreciate it. To the current recipients, cherish being a member of this organization. Don't hesitate to give back or seek guidance. I support you, and don't give up. To the coalition, continue to push and represent the organization and hold it to the highest standard. The community and families need you. Lastly, I left out one thing about that night I met Dr. Hayward, and it was that my hero was actually in there that evening. It was actually my late grandfather, James Patterson, and he's the reason why I am the man I am today, and why I work so hard. He taught me the value of my education. Well, my grandfather was old enough to grow up and see segregation and a lot of things that we still discuss about today in the world. To see people like Dr. Hayward and the coalition, the members of the academia, his heart was actually filled up that he actually never stopped talking about it when I got home, because he thought he would never see anything like that growing up. So remember, with some hard work and perseverance, you could be the right person at the right place at the right time and be someone to everyone. Thank you all, and have a great evening.
Tevin, thank you so much for sharing your life experiences and what you've accomplished since you left FMU. I think he did a wonderful job. I thought he said he was nervous. Didn't he say that? He just, boy, he was a talker. When I was nervous, I would go hide in the closet and try and talk. All right, now we're going to have a musical performance by me. Arthenius is not going to perform, it's going to be me. I'm kidding. I was born and raised in the church, and I still sing all the time, but I sing in the background. She is phenomenal. I've known Arthenius Jackson for a very long time, and when I tell you she is a wonderful person, her community projects that she does and how she always seeks to help people, and she has a great gift. Her parents are wonderful people. Her father works here. Arthenius is a graduate of FMU, and she is going to come and she is going to grace us with a wonderful, wonderful song. Take it away, Arthenius.
make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Oh, and if you want to know why, there's a love that cannot lie. Love is strong, simply cares for joyful giving. We try, we shall see. In this bliss we cannot feel. There are dread, we stop existing and start living. Let it feel that always love's enough for us growing to make a better world. Make a better world. The world. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better world for you and for me. And the dream we were conceiving will reveal a joyful face. And the world we once believed in will shine again in grace. So why do we keep strangling life with this earth crucifying soul? Though it's pain to see, it's heavenly. Beyond love, you want to know why. There's a love that cannot lie. In my heart, you are all my brothers. Created a world, no fear. Together we'll cry happy tears. See the nations turn their swords into plowshares. And we really get there if we care enough for the living to make a little space, make a better place in the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world and make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world and make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Oh, people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. For you and for me. You and for me. Make a better place. Come together, make a better place. Join together, make a better place. We gotta make a better place. We gotta make a better place. We wanna be the world we live in. Safety for our children. Be the world we live in. Safety for our children.
That was absolutely great. That was great. Arthenius is a former member of the coalition. She is also the executive director for One Touch Transformation. Now we're going to hear from our current scholar, and that is going to come by way of Kennedy Thomas, who is a political science major studying criminal justice.
Hi, my name is Kennedy Thomas, and I'm a current recipient of the Joseph E. Howard Scholarship. Hayward Scholarship. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I didn't have anything prepared for today, but I did want to speak from the heart. Well, first, I'm a political science major with a track of criminal justice. And I just wanted to take the time to say thank you for choosing me to be a recipient. I'm an introvert, so I don't really participate in anything on campus. I pretty much do schoolwork and work. And so to receive the scholarship, it really made me feel seen. Like someone really cares about my education and really wants me to succeed in life, which means a lot to me. So again, I just want to thank you for that, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. The coalition has a number of goals, and one of their goals is to increase morale and communication among members, creating an atmosphere of community for Francis Marion University's African American faculty, students, and staff members. Now you're going to learn a little bit more about who the organization actually helps, and it's going to be coming to you through a video presentation.
Any scholarship I receive is like a weight lifted. It's really like a breath of relief.
I cannot describe how I felt when I received the AFSC scholarship. I am a first-generation college student for a reason in my family. My mom passed away 2 years ago from cancer, but she fought really hard and made sure I pursued my education.
It changed my goals because now I'm just focusing on school. The time that I don't have to work, I'm using to study, go to the library, talk to my professor about things. I can sleep at night, so it's been awesome.
You want to be able to just go to school and just focus, but when you got money that you got to worry about, coming up with, it can make you like stress out. So receiving this scholarship means a lot because these people didn't have to give me this scholarship. It means a whole lot.
Honestly, it feels like I'm part of like a little family, to say in a sense. Just getting this and it makes me feel like there's people there that actually help.
I think it's very important because like trying to pay for college either right out of pocket or only with the Pell Grant or something like that, you're gonna have to come out of pocket, like even if it's just like $2,000 a semester, and like having scholarships like these, scholarships and grants like these is like a great help.
I was very grateful and happy. First thing I did was call my mama and say, "Oh my God, Mama, I got the scholarship."
I felt very happy, honored. I was a little nervous going into it because I knew there would be a lot of people applying for the scholarship. So I do feel very grateful to be one of the recipients.
It means that it's a great honor and pleasure to help young African American students such as myself get closer to achieving an education and achieving their dreams of becoming whatever they want to become.
If I didn't have the scholarship, I'd probably be somewhere in the corner crying. Because not only did it help me, but help my mom as well.
AAFSC is an honorable example for everybody in our society. It shows the importance of giving back to our community. Me personally, it motivated me to pursue my nonprofit organization, which is designed to help people in Senegal who has cancer, but they do not have enough money to get the right treatment they deserve. For that, I want to say thank you for giving me a chance to pursue my dreams and get my degree to honor my mom.
The next part of our program tonight is one of the most important parts, and it's the presentation of the Diversity Award. Now, to tell you a little bit about the Diversity Award, it highlights the work of those who are dedicated to celebrating diversity and inclusiveness of FMU and beyond. And here to present that award is Dr. Rebecca Lawson, and she is the retired Director of Counseling and Testing.
Tonight's recipient is a faculty member from the Department of Mathematics. And I think about what his first day of class must be like in words that he says to his students. And I had to look these words up because they don't flow naturally for me. But words like polynomials and quadratic equations and vector calculus and partial derivatives and then I think about what does he see as he says those concepts and looks out at students. And there may be some students that have a sense of curiosity and joy and say, thank goodness I'm in math class and not psychology and I can't wait to get started. And then there may be other students who have wide eyes and are confused and have what we call in my field of psychology math anxiety or math panic. And what does our recipient do with that? One thing that he does is quality teaching. Check. Another thing that he does is be available to his students. His students describe him as warm, available to help with homework, and they will also tell you that he assigns a lot of homework in the teaching of mathematics at Francis Marion University, and is this cheerleader for them to do well. Check. But where he has a bold, huge check is an underlying belief in diversity and inclusion, that math and science is for all students. And for those that nominated him, one of the things that they talked about is that he's intentional about bringing students from different races, ethnicities, socioeconomic classes, to bring underrepresented groups to science, to math. And what has also been said about him is that as you bring groups to you, you think about your teaching and how you're doing activities, and you adapt to them as well. And we call that culturally informed practice, and he's good at it. And to give you a few examples of what our recipient has done while he's been at Francis Marion. In 2018, he used a Francis Marion Rio grant to take 7 students to San Antonio, Texas for a conference called SACNAS, which stands for the Society for Advancement of Chicanos, Hispanics, and Native Americans in Science. 4 students attended. 3 students actually gave poster presentations and got feedback from others, from the judges who also served as mentors about their presentations. In June, he did a Science Fun Day for 38 primary school students at the Compassion Elementary School in Yo Creek Village, which is a small village in the country of Belize in Central America. And last fall, along with other faculty in the math department, he was a part of a group awarded an FMU Peak grant to implement supplemental instruction so that student leaders can get career experience assisting faculty teaching college algebra 2 and probability and statistics. And so what we would like to do now is present the 2021 African American Faculty Staff Coalition Diversity Award to Dr. Keith Daniel Browse. He goes by Daniel Browse, but we wanted to say his full name, Dr. Browse.
On behalf of the coalition, elbow bump.
Thank you, Dr. Lawson. I'm nervous too, so. Dr. Lawson probably going to make me cry. I was asked to say some thoughts on diversity, and go ahead and do that. I guess before I do that, let me thank some people. Anyway, I'd like to thank the coalition for the recognition and the honor. I also have to thank my wife, Dr. Minerva Browse, and my daughter, Liana, and family here in Invalice, and faculty and staff. And last but not least, the math department and Dr. Carter and Mrs. Carter. And I guess I got to thank God too, right? They're making this possible. Yeah. So several things came to mind, and I wanted just to express maybe a couple or a few here. When I think about the faculty and staff at Francis Marion, I guess the different quotes come to mind. One by Martin Luther King Jr. It says, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." Since our first days at Francis Marion, my wife and I both remarked upon the exceptional level of light and compassion extended by the faculty and staff. It is this inclusion that we observed from our first day, understanding, accepting, and valuing the differences between people, that continues to attract us to Francis Marion. Diversity and inclusion seem to go hand in hand. It's inclusion that allows us to experience diversity. And to experience diversity, we may need to see the humanity, the vulnerability and community within each of us that we share, before we can celebrate all the exciting differences that we have. My wife and I, we like to share our time with students through research and immersion experiences. In fact, research shows that living in diverse environments and having multicultural experiences enhances creativity, integrates different points of view, and raises awareness of underlying connections between ideas. With that in mind, we like to immerse students in different cultural environments so that they can start or continue to make these connections, appreciate their culture, and experience the cultures of others. Our hope and our effort is toward experiences and connections that enhance their creativity and provide them unique perspectives to help them have some eureka moments as they dream about who they want to be and what they can do, besides making them more marketable for jobs. Lastly, I have to thank the students at Francis Marion University. It is that they believe in us and make this possible, and without them, it would not be. We are weaved with them, and it's our joy to work with them. And I guess I would like to end with a quote by Maya Angelou. She says, "We all should know that diversity makes for a rich tapestry, and we must understand that all the threads of the tapestry are equal in value, no matter what color." And thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Browse, for what you do, and congratulations on your award. I just found out when I was back there that Dr. Rebecca Lawson was actually the first person to receive the Diversity Award in 2011 when that award was first given out. The coalition has done so much to help students and to help their staff members over the past 25 years. You would think, what else is there to do? But Kayla Duncan is going to come. She is the Assistant Director of Counseling and Testing, and she is going to come and tell us where this organization is going and what else they have to accomplish.
I felt like I was playing hide and seek just now. I just poked out. Sorry. So good evening, everyone. It really warms my heart to be here with you all this evening, sharing the vision for the future of the coalition. Looking back on our 25 years, we observe increases in enrichment opportunities for our members, continuing to partner with campus entities, providing stable Black History programs yearly, as well as beginning new partnerships with the psychology department, sociology department, as well as Dr. Carter to provide the community with pertinent cultural trainings to increase a positive narrative in the aftermath of all the overall national unrest related to the issue. As we look back on these various accomplishments, we are passionate about continuing to cultivate a spirit of inclusive practices between our organization and FMU administration, continuing to provide opportunities for further enrichment for our members, as well as providing resources to other higher education colleagues around the state of South Carolina. It is our hope as a coalition to continue to be a beacon of hope for minority voices, by providing safe spaces for constructive discussion here on FMU campus as well as in the community. We celebrate our 25-year legacy today while also looking forward to continuing our mission of Together We Can. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Duncan. Now we're going to have closing remarks, or remarks rather, by Dr. Fred Carter, who is the president of Francis Marion University, and Linda Sullivan, who is the president of this coalition. She's also the accountant and fiscal analyst. She is going to come and close us out.
Thank you, Tanya. Well, Tevin and Kennedy, I got to tell you guys, you're why this university exists. You're the reason why this faculty does what it does. And you know, Tucker, that wouldn't be a bad advertisement with photographs of Kennedy and Tevin, would it? I don't think so. And Tevin, you thought you were nervous before. 25 years of a partnership between the university and the coalition, 25 years. During that period of time, we've together been able to establish 6 named scholarships, which have supported 202 scholarships for students at this university. We fully endowed a chair in African American Studies. And I'm especially proud, Tevin, of the fact that we've supported 5 professional development trips, which involve coalition faculty, staff, and students. And I'm mindful of the fact that our next trip is to Baltimore. I'm not optimistic it will be this summer, but I'll guarantee you if it's not, it'll be the following summer. We've also created and developed one of the most unique African American collections in literature in the state of South Carolina in our own Rogers Library. And together we've contributed, or found ways to contribute, more than $170,000 to building that collection. Man, the coalition. No other university in South Carolina, Kayla, has anything like the coalition. And I use that every time I speak to Ways and Means and Senate Finance. I use the coalition every time we go out and recruit students to come to this university. And we use it every time we go out and we recruit faculty. You guys service in ways you don't even know that you service. But you also know the things you do on this campus. You started as a support organization, then you grew in your middle years into an advocacy organization. And you know, for the last decade, you've been one of the more premier leadership organizations on this campus. No other university in South Carolina has anything like a coalition. 25 years. You know, when we put up the statue, before we put up the statue of Dr. Doug Smith, I had a lunch with Dr. Smith in which I told him we were going to put up a statue. And he reached across the table and he was visibly emotional. And he put his hand on my hand and he says, "Fred, you have an appreciation for history." And I said, "No, Mr. President. I have an appreciation for those who make history." And that brings us to the 32 men and women who founded this coalition 25 years ago. 32 men and women who came together because they perceived an acute need on this campus to change things and to make things better. So, tonight, we want to recognize those founding members of the coalition. There were 32 of you all together 25 years ago. 23 of you still live in this area. 8 of you are still on our faculty and staff, and 7 of you are with us tonight. So for the 7 of you that are with us tonight, we're going to give each of you a copy of the plaque that hangs in the Smith Student Center that memorializes the creation of the coalition and has the names of the original 32. That's for the 7 that are with us tonight. I'm going to call out your names, those that are on the 7 that are on our faculty and staff now. Now, there are another 15 who live in the area who will be getting the same plaque within the next 2 weeks. Our communications office will deliver to each of you. But for the 7 original members who are still on our faculty and staff, if you'll stand up when I call your name, and Tucker's going to bring you your plaque down. Bishop Donald Jackson, who has a daughter with one of the most beautiful voices in the state. Dr. Pete Peterson, who invited me to my first coalition fish fry, and I'm deeply troubled that I haven't been invited to one in the last 5 years. I expect that to be remedied, Pete. Stephen Sims, who looks just a little younger every single year. Linda Sullivan, Madam President. Demetra Walker, who does such a fine job continuing to build that wonderful collection in the Rogers Library. Thank you, Dean. Ann Williams, who's responsible for making sure that people like Tevin and Kennedy get their diplomas. And Miss Benita Woodbury, who's one of the sweetest, most compassionate people on this campus. This plaque belongs to Miss Wendy Moore, who's not with us this evening, but she'll get this plaque in the morning. Now, let me say 1 or 2 other things before I sit down. This has been a tough year at the university. It's been the toughest year in the history of the university. The coalition has been an important part of the cohesion that has held this university together and made it function so harmoniously this past year. And I want to thank everybody here for that. Not every university has a coalition. Have I said that? Much of this has been due to the work of the fine president of the coalition, Linda Sullivan. She deserves an enormous amount of credit for everybody here for what she's done this year. She deserves an enormous amount of credit for everybody at the university. So, in trying to decide how we could best thank Linda, Laura Stanton, the director of our foundation, and I sat down earlier this week, and we were able to find in the foundation budget $20,000 to fully fund our 7th scholarship in Miss Sullivan's name. Fully fund the scholarship in Linda Sullivan's name. We also found sufficient money to complete the funding of Yvonne's scholarship. A word of warning now, if Yvonne comes to you asking for money for her scholarship, why do we do these things with regard to people like Linda Sullivan and Yvonne Davis? Because we all should have a deep appreciation for those who are making history. Thank you.
Whenever I see Kim Davis' name flash across my phone, my heart goes, oh my God. I can't believe Dr. Carter said what he just said, or I think I heard what he said, I'm not sure. But when I think about the founding members, I remember a group of individuals that came together with their own story to tell, their own special gifts to offer, but seeking common goals. Equality for all, to educate and inform our people, and embrace hope that one day a change would come. Good evening. I am Linda Sullivan, president of the coalition. I would like to give special thanks to Dr. Carter and Mrs. Carter. Thank you for seeing us. Thank you for hearing us. Thank you for supporting us. I would also like to thank the Board of Trustees of Francis Marion University. I'd like to thank Tanya Brown, our Mistress of Ceremony. I'd like to send a special hug to the program participants. We would like to thank the staff of the university's communications and the staff of facility management. I thank each and every one of our friends, family members, and communities that continue to support us financially. Last but not least, I would like to introduce the officers of the coalition. Kayla Duncan is our vice president. Our secretary is Bernadette Johnson. Dennis Sullivan is the treasurer, and Stephen Sims is our parliamentarian. And the people that make our motto true, together we can. I salute the coalition. Please stay safe, drive carefully, and good night.